Good afternoon, my name is Alina Shevtsova. I'm an immigration attorney from Brooklyn, New York. In today's video, I would like to give you some updates regarding the public charge rule and what's happening with public charge rule. And a lot is happening with public charge rule. So you may be aware about the public charge if you are filing for adjustment of status, change of status from one non-immigrant category to another. You have to deal with that issue, right? You would have to submit forms, I-944 form. You would have to answer certain questions. If you are seeking to come to the United States from the overseas, you also need to be prepared for the public charge rule. But what's been happening for the past 2 weeks is very interesting. On July 29, 2020, Southern District Court in New York stated that public charge rule should be stopped nationwide, meaning that USCIS should not be asking for the form I-944 and should not be asking for the relevant questions on forms to change of non-immigrant status. Okay, then there was an appeal, and the second layer of courts stated that yes, basically the national the injunction should be in place, but it was not clear if it was actually limited just for New York, Connecticut, and Vermont, the jurisdiction of the Second Circuit, or nationwide. So the government stated that until and while Southern District Court's ruling to stop the public charge is in place, they're not going to go forward with the public charge. At the same time, for people who are overseas, the rule would not work as well. Okay, fine. So it was nationwide for about 2 weeks. On August 12th, the Second Circuit issued another order saying that the public charge rule is actually stopped for residents of only 3 states: New York, Connecticut, and Vermont. All right. So right now, it's about 3 p.m. on August 14th, 2020. USCIS has not changed the directions as to form I-944 for nationwide situation. We do not know if they're going to actually state that, you know what, if you live in New York, Connecticut, and Vermont, then you don't need form I-944 and questions related to public charge. Or they may just leave it all in place, waiting for the United States Supreme Court ruling on the issue. We do not know. So what I recommend you to do, if you have to file your paperwork right now, is to check with the government's website on the day of your filing what the instructions are. If you do or you do not have to submit form I-944 and answer relevant questions, you open their website, take a screenshot of that, okay? So if later they're going to say that you filed something incorrectly, blah, 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 you're going to say, wait a second, I was using the instructions on the date of the filing, okay? But what I do know, I think I do know that for those who are overseas, and those who are applying for immigrant visas, those who are not barred from applying for immigrant visas and actually can go forward with their applications, those people do not need to follow the public charge rule right now, okay? So that's where we stand with the public charge. Another small important update for those who are going to file for their work permits starting August 25th onward. A new edition of the form will be used. It's very important to check for the new edition of the form I-765, all right? Because if you're filing your case using old forms, and sometimes what happens is that you downloaded the form 2 months ago, right? You prepared your application, and for whatever reason it was sitting on your desk, you didn't check if the form is still good or not. You submitted your case and it bounced back to you. The form got rejected. You're losing time. The problem currently, what can happen is that it bounces back to you several months later. And it can be that because of this bounce back, you will lose automatic extension for your work permit, okay? Because for some categories, if you file your application before the expiration of the current work permit, if the government accepts that application, the renewal before the expiration of the current work permit, you will be able to get an automatic 6 months extension on the work permit that you have right now. You'll be able to legally work. But if you file the same application for renewal after the expiration of your work permit, you will not have that 6 months automatic extension. So pay attention to the forms, to the fees, okay? For some categories that before did not have biometric fee, now they will have to pay biometric fee. It's very important to follow the instructions as they are stated on the date of your filing, right? So I hope this video was helpful. Please subscribe, share, and like. Ask your questions. I do my best answering them if I can, if they're not too case specific. And I hope to see you soon.